Now then, people, good evening and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It seems like a minute since I've done a live when in actual fact it's probably only been about 24 hours or so. Maybe 48 actually. Yeah, 48. And it's ages since I spoke to this lad. He's been missing off at face of earth. I don't know where he's been at, but he's back. He's back. And he's been griefing me for my poor takes on the transfer window. And yeah, so we need a bit of positivity within the fan base, and who better to speak to than chief of the Happy Clapper fan club, Mr. Jack City. Jack City, bitch. Big up to everyone. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to Jack's channel as well. But Jack City, how are you, brother?
I'm all right, man. Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. I have not been avoiding you like you do, like you like to accuse me of. The accusations are not true. And it's had nothing to do with the window either. And I don't disagree with you over the window. I just want to get over it. Yeah.
I hear you, mate. Like, this is a thing that we can continue to cry over spilt milk. And the fact is, I'm not going to be a hypocrite, folks. As soon as someone gets injured, I'll come straight back to it. You know what I mean? If Okafor gets injured, Calvert-Lewin, I'll be straight back on it. See, for fuck's sake. But right now, look, it's not happening right now. It's not happening to Leeds United right now. We know what we've got. We've got 4 games between now and the next international break. So we have to look at it with a positive standpoint, right? Of course, we're not going to score 95 goals like we did last season. But one thing's for sure, from what I have seen, we're going to be difficult to beat. We've got a good setup, as it were. Just don't have that je ne sais quoi in the final third. But maybe that'll come in Okafor. Maybe that'll come in Calvert-Lewin starting on a regular basis. Who knows? But yeah, mate.
Do you not think Farke has got some tools though at this point, Joe, to make us competitive in the league? What would he have anticipated? What would he have expected? He's got to be relatively happy with what he's got. He's not been left completely out in cold, has he?
Yeah, I mean, well, if we're being honest, I guess in that respect, it would have only been one additional player, and it would have probably been Buonanotte in an ideal world, which should have covered right wing and 10. I don't know what you think, mate, but I was sort of thinking that maybe he would start with Buonanotte and then we would potentially see him go into the 10 when we want to go 4-2-3-1 and then have the right winger like James come on into the pitch late on or something like that. And I know you like Pirro and I know you don't mind Aronson, but I just think in the Premier League as 10s, they don't quite got it, bro. You know?
Yeah. I defended Aronson last year as much as I possibly could. I understand, you know, the step up when he's coming off the bench, it's extremely uninspiring, isn't it? I've said the only reason why I said you can keep Aronson around. What ends up happening, Joe, is everything gets conflated, doesn't it? So one argument means every single argument. So he's like saying that being 0-0 in a big game, bringing on Aronson for 15 minutes just to let him get about, get stuck in it. You say that thing, I think, is true. So keep Aronson around the place. But then when we're bringing him on to go and win a game and we've not brought another winger in, that is a completely different argument to be had. You know, after 60 minutes, bringing Aronson on for even Dan James, who hasn't been great going forward for the 3 games in the Prem, that is a totally different thing to just shutting shop up and thinking, well, Aronson's not going to cause any bother. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, I can't even remember. It must have been the Newcastle game when he brought both off Nonto and James, wasn't it? And it was Aronson on, and it was just like, I don't mind the Harrison sub because again, I think Harrison's, you know, I know he gets loads of shit.
He was just something different, doesn't he? Balls into the box, etc. Yeah,
and he does drive the ball. He does get on ball, and he's positive, and he drives with it and stuff. You know what you're getting with Harrison. Whereas a bit with Aronson, it's not. It's just very uninspiring. And same with bringing Peru on. It's not. You know, Mecha was so much better up top, wasn't he? I mean, Mecha's got a bit of stick. To be fair, and I don't really know why, because, you know, I thought he was brilliant in that. I was banging on to Sean about him. Yeah. Every time we went anywhere near ball, it was just like, it was such an outlet, wasn't he? And a nightmare up top, just pinning defenders and not even winning it, but just making it so that the defender's not just eating it up, sweeping it up, and we're just under pressure all the time. He was just causing himself a problem, putting himself about. I thought that in Arsenal game as well, Joe. Just
100%.
Just
Agreed.
laid it on a few people, didn't he? Just got his elbows out and started, throwing his weight about, which is what we need. And then, to be fair to Calvert-Lewin, he did the same thing when he came on.
Yeah.
I
think the difference between the two, Jack, and I don't know, but from what I've seen in the Sheff Wednesday game and the Newcastle game is they do similar things, but Calvert-Lewin gets on the end of chances because of his movement. So, like in the Sheff Wednesday game, he could have had 3. And then in the Newcastle game, he also had an opportunity, whereas Metcha, as good as he was, he don't get in them scoring positions like Calvert-Lewin does. And that's what you want. Ideally, we have a Calvert-Lewin who's fit. And then I think we will score the goals that we need. Do you know what I mean?
It sounds daft, Joe, but it's like striker and centre forward, isn't it? It used to be on Champ Manager where like out and out striker would mean get in the box, get chances, like you say, get about it. And then a centre forward would be the same thing, but not quite as like doesn't have that killer sort of sniff for it, does he? Where he's just constant.
I think Calvert-Lewin is exactly like Bamford, but better.
Yeah, I do.
Do you know what I mean?
To be honest, yeah, I do. Yeah.
And then you have like a Solanke, you could argue, similar in that similar mold as well. Do you know what I mean? That type of profile of striker that are gonna cause defenders nightmares, have great movement, and can finish. But I guess all 3 mentioned there, their finishing is not 100%. They're not Haaland, are they? You know what I mean? They're not Haaland.
No, and Haaland misses chances, and I know I say it all the time. The missed chances. It's not young. We haven't got to get too wept up, really. I mean, it's not great against Sheff Wednesday because normally you want the debut to. It panicked me more than it should have done that. And when they were all missing pens and that, I thought, oh, we're up against it. Even my man Longstaff, but then he were excellent against Newcastle and stuff. So I just thought it brought me back.
Did you see what Lee Dixon said? I sent you that tweet.
Oh my God, man. What
Elliot Anderson ran the show.
He did though, didn't he? Like I said to you, he definitely did though. It's to be fair, what made me laugh about that is I thought we got the better of him in midfield as well. It were like thought we were brilliant in there. So it's not even if that was a true representation of the game and he was there, it wouldn't have even been true. Do you know what I mean? Because Longstaff and Stack were running games. So it's such a wild. But Twitter went wild for that, didn't it? To be fair, that is just everybody was saying. It's when people have got to go on Twitter and check that they've heard it right. Like, have you? Just to clarify, somebody else has heard that, and it's not just me.
He's off, but that's the thing, innit? I think that's why you're seeing companies like Sky and all this get more involved with fan stuff now because, like, we have a voice, right? We have a voice, and 9 times out of 10 know more than the fucking pundits, Well,
we're obsessed with club, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
I'm only obsessed with Leeds. You know what I mean? I just watch every single game. So if
watch football, but you're obsessed with Leeds, innit?
Yeah, and you expose pundits a bit, I think, because when I'm listening to Talk Sport or whatever, I'll hear somebody say something. I think that's not right about Leeds. So you're doing that to all the other clubs as well. Do you know what I mean? When they go, well, that's not
100%.
That's not right. It's not even an objective view of it, like how we've been playing or whatever. You're just guessing.
That's it. No, you bang on, mate. You are, and that's why, like, this season going on all the Premier League shows, and they have Leeds going down and that. Well, I mean, some still do, but they are starting to change their opinion because it's just recency bias. The last 3 or 2 seasons prior to ours, the newly promoted teams have gone down, and everyone's like, "Oh, the gap's too big now. It's just too big." And you can already see in such a short space of time from all teams. We've all won games. We've got points on the board. Burnley have got 3. We've got 4, and Sunderland 6. So that shows that we're here, not to make up numbers, man. We're not going to make up numbers. We're going to have a good go at it. We've got Fulham, Wolves, Bournemouth, and Spurs after international break, mate. I actually I don't want to get ahead of myself. I look at Fulham and think, you know what, if we get any away game in the Premier League, if you can get a point, happy days. Wolves, for the fan base, will feel like a 6-pointer, will feel like a big one. But even if we get a point down there, I don't think it's that bad, bro, if I'm honest. I know they haven't started well, but they are, they're a Premier League side, aren't they? And then, obviously, Bournemouth and Mint, Semenyo, that new left-back Truffert is arguably better than Kirkes. They've got some top players, Alex Scott, Lewis Cook. the new centre back Senesai, who's been there previously. They've got a good side, Bournemouth, and then Spurs. Like Spurs are flying under Thomas the Frank engine, aren't they? So it's going to be tough, though, isn't it? The Premier League. That's my new one. You know, remember like Wilder and that. Now it's Frankie.
I know. I can see them coming a mile off, Joe. I can see the bromances growing. So you move on very quick as well, because obviously with Big Ange, and that just is it just a Tottenham thing? Is it just whoever manages Spurs?
Maybe. Although to be fair, I hated Thomas Frank when we were competing against them in Championship. I thought he was a right bellend, but after that dissipated, I've always thought he's a good coach, man. He's a good coach. So yeah.
Well, do you think because players and managers do this to me a little bit, where I think if they prove themselves, they can really annoy me. But then once they start to actually prove themselves, and you start thinking, no, well, to be fair, he's a very good manager, and I can get over it a little bit, and I start thinking like you sort of warm to him a little bit, don't you? Just because they're decent, basically.
And I'm glad he's been given an opportunity at a top club instead of just
it,
a great name from the continent. You know what I mean? I think. I know he's not from England, but what I mean is he's made his way up, hasn't he? And he's been given an opportunity, and it started well for him. So fair fucks, you know. But yeah, looking at them games, mate, what sort of return you think's a good? And it'd be nice to get a win. Nice to get a win in there, wouldn't it?
Just keep going where we're going, Joe. If we can win, lose, and draw in every 3 games, I'd obviously take that all the way to end of the season. It'd be. You don't know where you're going to get them from, do you? But like you say, if you can get, it's a shame I got 2 away games because I don't want to be that guy. But Ellen Road has been like
unreal,
mad
isn't it?
First couple, it's been mad. So
you know what? First time back-to-back clean sheets since Huddersfield in 2017.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it is our home for. I know everybody bangs on about it, but it will make all the difference. And fans have been so ace and that. And obviously we didn't have it much last time, so we'd sort of gone down pan by the time we'd. Obviously, at the decent Premier League year, there were nobody there, was there? So we turned to shit a little bit. I mean, like you say, Wolves is a massive game. They've started poorly, haven't they? But they're all Premier League sides out at this point. When Burnley and Sunderland, Sunderland have won 2, haven't they? Burnley won 1.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah. Burnley only just lost to Man United as well for the penalty.
Yeah,
you know.
You end up taking, don't you? 'Cause at that point, I've started to get a bit like, you don't want them. I know Man U was so bad last year, but you would imagine they'll be more competitive this year. I just want it to be quite a big gap, Joe, as well. Like top
100%.
7, they can just let them beat everybody, really. And
I hear you, mate. Like I did a video, obviously, yesterday about the 3 things, and I made the point about there being more teams in Europe, and then everyone like took it so literal. I'm like, yeah, but that's the same for everybody. And I'm like, no, I know that, but I'm just saying we've got more chance to get more points than previous seasons because of that, you know? There's reasons to be positive. You've mentioned, one like going away from home for Leeds United. I know we've only had the one, and it was Arsenal. We know how that went. But if we can be difficult to beat, bro, nicking points on the road is absolutely massive. Because I spoke to Wolfie and Nottingham Forest the season we went down, and they stayed up, won 1 game away all season. 1. Yeah, I mean, and that came against Southampton, who also went down. Even we beat them in the running because I was like, that's Forest down now. We're staying up. I got clipped up and was all over Forest Twitter for that and got absolutely smashed. But it is what it is. It's part of the game. But as long as... And look, one thing you can see from the 2 points, we've been difficult to beat, bro. We have been difficult to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. Banging on at the start of the season, all I wanted us to do would be competitive, and that's why I was so buzzing when he's gone 4-3-3. Getting 3 in centre, because I just wanted us to be like a Wish version of Newcastle, to be honest. Where
same. I was exactly...
just super like. I mean, for a start off, I love watching Eddie Howe's Newcastle. I think they're absolutely awesome. Like they get about it, and I mean they're having a bit of a wobble out there. Some fan base for them, to be fair, because they've not had best of starts, but. Just being really hard to beat is probably the most important thing. To be honest, Joe, as well, if we'd have come up, this is kind of what I mean with the transfer window as well. If we'd have come up as like a Sheffield United, everybody would have been absolutely delighted with this. If it were your man, Chrissy Wilder, and we just sort of got some strong, big lads to come in and just, iron a few players out and sort it out and be competent and just pick up draws, pick up odd win, get spanked to Arsenal, then have a really good reaction and get a brilliant point to an awesome Newcastle side. I know, granted, with their injuries, but we've also had our injuries. We've not got the attacking.
No, we didn't have Ampadu and Tanaka, bro.
Exactly, which is quite literally what I've just said is like my favourite bit of it's my favourite bit of what we've gone and done.
Yeah,
and then we've lost 2 of them already, so it's like and then I bang on about Longstaff, but Longstaff to just come in, you just know
that first tackle on Bruno G went, I'm fucking here.
Bang. Yeah, well, he will bang up for it, won't he?
Yeah.
And that's when we're going to need him. But I honestly, I made a bit of a joke. So obviously, I've been banging on about him, but I think he'll end up being undroppable, Joe. I think they're going to actually have a real problem in there. Farke's going to have a real deal on sorting all 3 of them out, because I think when Tanaka gets back, he's obviously unbelievable on ball, and he's Longstaff sort of in between Stack and.
I guess he can switch it up depending on the opponent as well, Jack.
Yeah. But there's got to be one that don't move, and everybody keeps saying it's going to be Stack. And I think the romance in him a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Stack's just as he can be rotated just as much as the rest of them, in my opinion. And I think Stack's been brilliant, by the way. I think Longstaff's been really undermined, so I'm sort of enjoying just banging it down everybody's throat.
Of course, man. Mate, after Chef Wednesday, he got absolutely cooked.
Why would he though? There's absolutely no doubt. That's my whole point about Longstaff. Stack will more than likely, or not even more than likely, to be fair. Now I'm doing it to Longstaff for no reason. I'm sure he's a very, very, very good player, and he's looked really good in the games I've seen him. But we know that Longstaff can do it in the Premier League. It's a fact. He's not washed. He's not gone anywhere. Do you know what I mean? He can definitely be a Premier League centre midfielder. That is exactly what he is. And like I said to you at the start of the season when we signed him, he'll finish his career in the Premier League. He won't be dropping down anywhere. If we get relegated, he's not staying. Somebody will be picking him up in Prem. Do you know what I mean? So that is what he is. He's come from a top side.
What did you make then? Just on that, just to go back a bit. I mean, we fully expected it. We said it before the season had ended, to be fair, last season. But were you surprised at the vitriol for the manager just after 2 games after beating Everton? We got slapped up by Arsenal, which can happen, right? It can happen. The floodgates opened. They're an unbelievable Champions League side and will go far in all comps this year. And then obviously Chef Wednesday happens. But there was genuine, get this man out of the football club and that. And I know it weren't great. And I was so grateful for the Newcastle result. And I am a big fan of the manager, obviously, we know this. But as soon as if he's doing shit, I won't be. I think, people get it twisted. But were you surprised at how quick it had turned in just 2 league games?
Unfortunately, not really, Joe. No. I'm not even trying to be funny.
No, I get it.
I'm not. I'm surprised we got 2 games in. I mean, if we hadn't beat Everton, God knows where we'd be now with it, because it's going to be. We said it, didn't we, at start of season? It's going to be hard slog trying to sort of defend him, just because anytime we lose a game. We're also talking about Sheffield Wednesday as though we want. I know they fielded a lot of kids, and I'm not excusing that performance. It was rancid, turgid, but we was playing against them last year. We was in the Championship ourselves last year. It's a cup game.
But that team wasn't that team we played for, Jack.
No, I know, dude. I know, but these things, Man U then go get beat, don't they? And I know they're terrible also. That it happens a lot in the cup. It also happens to us a lot.
Yeah,
we don't normally go on these crazy charges. We always get beat.
We're better playing in a higher team. If you look back, in League One, man, we gave Arsenal games, we replay with Spurs, beat Man United, etc. Right? Then when we got Haverton and Mullot, Histon, and all these, we always get beat.
Crawley's Town, we got recently with Bielsa and that, when we were actually decent. They
Crew and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's it's not unusual for that to even happen to us. As much as it did panic me as well, because we are in it. You can't help but, I try and sort of pay it off as much as I can, but you can't help it have some reaction to you, can you? It's impossible to just be like, no, I'm totally not on board with this, because you do. My worry with it, Joe, is if it's banging on too much, I do think it seeps through to the club a little bit and into the squad.
Yeah,
and my worry was that the fury that had come off after Arsenal and Chef Wednesday, that we're going to Newcastle game, and there's a bit of nerves there, and there's a bit of like. But luckily, there seemed to be not well. I don't know if there were nerves, but like bad nerves, as in like we're up against it here. The fan base don't like us. I just don't want the club, as in the players and the manager, to believe that the fan base aren't fully behind the manager and the club. And like you just said, if Farke starts doing shit, I will say I'm totally. And that's why I'm not really getting on the opposite of the transfer market, because I want to be able to say, no, Farke has got. I think he's got enough to make us competitive. We should be getting into January 15th in league, having won a few games, and the options going forward need to be. We need better options going forward, and then we can go to the board or whoever, and then I will be fully behind Farke again and go, right, now go and actually get. He's told you what the problem is. We're all aware what it is. It's obvious what it is. Not denying it. I just think Farke has enough to be decent in this league now for 2 months.
Yeah, I agree, man. There's enough to be competitive. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people, well, that's how he's got excuses now and all that. It's not that. Like, obviously,
but it shouldn't be making. I won't accept excuses, Joe. At this point, that's what I'm saying. You should be decent.
You say he's got enough.
Yeah.
Do you
to be decent?
Where I do worry from, mate, is open play goal. You know, we're yet to score that in the league. And
that's why Chef Wednesday didn't help.
No,
because you want to smack a few 100%. Goals in there, don't you? And
sure, Okafor was absolutely pants, and I was expecting him to run the show. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking,
I said to you, I can't remember if we were live or not, Jar. If I just sent you in a voice message, but he got at the right back a few times, and I thought, he's gonna be on one all day. That should have been like he should have been. You know, when as a winger you go like, I've got beaten of this kid here.
If that's Somerville, for example, he cooks him all day. If
that's all day, he has the best day of his life. He turns up 2 minutes in, he beats him and goes, oh, this guy can't get ball off me. And he just murks him. And coming from a big club like he has done, he should have smelled 100%. Blood there, big style, and just thought, I'm gonna look world class here. Because you can do, can't you, against somebody that just can't lace your boots. And he did beat him a few times, put a couple of decent balls in. And then he went into like, I'm just gonna piss around mode, didn't he? Where he were like, you know, step up, like jittering about, and then
doing this, mate.
I know, and it were like, what's that about? You know what I mean? I can understand it if you've 4-0 up and you want to, you know, have a bit of fun or something. But right now we're getting beat. We're getting beat at the time. And then like that's what I'm saying. Then Bogle comes on and actually does basically what Okafor should have been doing and gets by a couple of players. I mean, he was brilliant when he came on, wasn't he? Like really direct and with, you know, like with some bite, like wanting to actually create. And I didn't feel like Okafor wanted to create. Oh, it were panicking, really.
Weird. Yeah, it wasn't a great performance, mate. You're right. But like you said, we follow it up with Newcastle and reasons to be positive. Fulham won't be easy, obviously, Saturday at 3:00. But, you know, this is what we're in the Premier League for, right? This is a game that we have to target to try and get something from. If we don't, okay, we move on to the next one. But this is a game. Go on.
And with Fulham as well, Joe, like, I know they're decent, but as we've said, they're all decent. So they aren't at the best start. You need to make sure that you're keeping above these types of teams. While ever you're above them, you need to keep them down, don't you?
Yeah.
And teams like Fulham, they can get dragged into it. Fulham aren't guaranteed a Premier League place for the rest of their, you know, for the rest of their history. I mean, they'll go down again at some point. So they don't, just like they all do. You can't, unless they can get to that top tier level, you'll eventually get 100%. To the sword, won't you? So that, you know, I'm not saying this will be their year because I know Fulham are a good side, but
they are. They've got a good manager, haven't they? They've got some good players. Obviously, they got beat by Chelsea, but they were robbed a little bit, and they were good against.
But this can happen though, Joe. That's what I mean. 100%. So you just have to, you know, you have to rob them, don't you? And you have to get away 100%. With it, and you have to, you know, we've just got to be
get a VAR decision going your way, and you're laughing, aren't you? That's the thing, 100%. I do want to let's get some because it's quite chill tonight. Obviously, there's not really anything intense to speak about. From Monday, we'll start focusing on the weekend. So I wanted to get some comments in and that as they're flying in. So big up to Scoobs, by the way, came to watch us at the game. There he is, picture with your boy. El says we got the worst squad in the league along with Burnley. Now, one thing I have been saying, Jack, I think attack-wise it's poor and arguably there's a conversation, but I don't think from midfield defence I can agree.
No, that's why I think we've got enough to be. I don't really care. This is what I'm saying. I think it's just up to. I really don't. I think we're strong enough to just be to get some points on board, and then it'd be blatantly obvious when we get into January that Farke needs some
additions.
attacking,
Yeah.
And hopefully, like you say, DCL can stay fit, and actually, if he bangs 5 or 6 goals in, I mean, it'll be, next couple of months it'll be remarkable.
He'll be in next England fucking call up, won't he?
Well, there's no reason why not.
Exactly, mate. Bogle at right back and Calvert-Lewin up top.
And we're sort of desperate for it as well. So, and some of them just have to step up. Dan James has to step up. Obviously, Nonto has to. They're just gonna have to. They're gonna have to do the job, aren't they? They're gonna have to state the claim, because if not, they're on chopping board, aren't they? So
100%. Ted Stevo says 14th is a bold prediction. I did put Leeds in 14th the other day. People got hung down on the points, and they were going, them points, what happened? But the person who edited my video, big up Connor, by the way. The beautiful game on TikTok. Make sure you go check him out. He just put the points in, but I'd actually mapped it out. You know, when we do them predictors, I did map it out from game week 4 all the way while I was doing some work, and I did have us 14th. But anyway, between 14th to 17th, I'm fucking happy with. Do you know what I mean? I am happy. But 14th, is that bold, mate?
I'm team 11th. I'm saying aim for 11th, finish 10th. I think as long as we're around 12th with about 15 games to go, I think you can hang on, and then, like you said, you end up 14th, 15th, 16th, and everybody thinks you've had a really good season because we were sort of like riding relatively high and looking good, and then you can wilter away, and hopefully the bottom 3 at that point so bad you stratospheres away from them, aren't you? So
100%.
I don't think it's that hard to finish 14th than previously either. To be fair, you've only got to win 3 more games than 17th, and you're light years away from them. So it's like, I don't know.
We're on the countdown to 10 wins, man. Countdown to 10 wins, and we need 9. Dave76 says, give a quick shout out to Matty for smashing his charity walk yesterday from Old Trafford to Ellen Road. He was broken by the end, but what a guy. Yeah, him and a few others got involved, raised money for Leeds Autism Society and Andy's Man's Club. If you haven't already, go check it out. Listen, walking is tough when it gets past, I don't know, like 10 miles and stuff. It really starts to, I mean, it could be 5 miles depending on your fitness, but what I'm saying is it gets grueling, so I can sympathize, and well done to the lads that got involved with that as well, man. 100%. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's been a long day. I've been at the Great North Run, folks. So I'll tell you what did happen, by the way, right? My daughters found out Tommy fecking Fury was running it. Tommy Fury's running it. So they put his name in app and that, try to find him. They went, oh, he's already gone past. Can we get to end to take a picture? I was like, it's Tommy Fury. Get a grip.
Didn't he run some other day as well? Because I saw a video.
Have you not seen that meme where he goes running over end like that?
That's what I'm on about. Yeah, but that's from a while ago, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that one is. But he did Great North Run today. Kids were like, "Oh, right. Tommy Fury. Wonder if Molly May's doing it." It's like, shut up, man. There we go. 100 million, 10 new players, strengthened in every area. Farke has more than enough to work with. I think you're agreeing with this. I don't think we've strengthened on the right-hand side. We needed to, because our wingers are Dan James and Brendan Aronson. So I don't think we have. We don't have a 10. But agree, we've strengthened. Well, have we strengthened in defence? Because at the minute, the best partnership's still Rodon and Strout for me. I weren't impressed by Biol. I know it's only one game. I'm not saying I think people like they say, "Oh, you're writing him off." I say, no, I'm just basing it on that one performance. I'm not saying that that's how his whole Leeds United career will go. But yeah, definitely strengthened in midfield, strengthened at left back, added bodies in defence. What do you agree with strengthening in every area, or?
I think I don't know what more, other than.
Well, we needed a 10 and a right winger, bro. Dan James, Aronson.
Do we need a 10 if we're not playing with a 10? Though I don't know why everybody keeps saying this.
Maybe the option. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but like a right winger that can play there. That's why they went for Wilson. That's why they went for Buonanotte, right? Because they give that.
Well, I don't know. Or are they just the only options available?
Well, Buonanotte did play equal amount of minutes on the right and in the 10 last season at Leicester, and Harry Wilson can do it as well, right? So I think they were looking for that profile.
I think it's always good as an option, obviously, yeah. But I don't know if they're just solely going out.
My only
looking for a
concern
10.
is though, right, Jack, and I'll give you, and I think this is the perfect example. In that Newcastle game, towards the end, Eddie Howe went, right, now I'm bringing on my wingers. Nuno does something similar at Forest, yeah, if they've sat in. He had 5 at the back initially, then he went 4 right. He took off Botman, brought on 2 wingers. It gave them a different option. Unfortunately, now I feel for Leeds, we're wedded to 4-3-3 regardless. Whereas maybe Farker would have gone, do you know what? We're getting on top here. 15 minutes, the crowd. I'm going to move Buonanotte or Harry Wilson into the 10 and bring James on. And then we can go 4-2-3-1. But without that player that can do that, and we don't have a 10 that can come off the bench and do that, we're stuck with 4-3-3, and if it ain't working, we'll just switch personnel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's my thought process behind it. Why he wanted a winger that can play in the 10.
I think so. Like I say, it's good as an option, but I'm not certain that we're going out desperately looking for a 10.
Just out and out. No, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. What was your take on the Hamer stuff? Because that was massive. I kept saying I don't get it. I know they went for it, and it was more of a panic. That was a panic to me because he's an 8. He's not a 10. He played on the left. He plays as an 8. He doesn't play it as an out-and-out 10. He's more of a deep-lying player. So,
want you all over Gus Hamer though,
but in the summer, yes.
So
and I'd have taken him. Please know this. I'd have taken him. But my point was, now, when it was announced like 2 weeks ago, it didn't make sense for Leeds United. It just didn't make sense for us to bring him in because who would he play ahead of in that 3-man midfield?
Well, I didn't want him from the start.
I know you didn't.
Then when it went a bit weird, I thought, right, just bring him in, for Christ's sake, just get him in. And then I went back to, no, I don't want him. And I thought, I'll just, again, bring him in. And then towards end of window, I was just back on, just thinking, just get him in. But, I'm glad we don't have him, really. I mean, I'd have taken it last day. I just thought, just bring anybody in at this point. But I don't know if that's the right attitude either. Just anybody and anybody.
No, I agree. Mate.
I just don't. Why Gus? What I think it's narratives this is why I'm always having a laugh on Twitter about it. Really, why is it like a narrative built and then everybody just starts saying Gus Hamer's name all the time? He's been spoke about all pre-season. Gus Hamer. How as a player of his level, and I know for some reason you think he's world class, but how does how does a player like Hamer end up never not being spoke about by the Leeds fans all pre-season? How's that possible? What's he done apart from being decent? Why is it Gus Hamer? I don't get it.
I had people telling me that he's better than Brownhill, and I don't agree.
I think it's much of a muchness. What's Gus? Everybody was on about Gus Hamer last year, wasn't there? What was it? No, sorry. Was anybody on about Gus Hamer when there was in the Prem?
No, in the Champ, no, because they were saying no, he can't make 70 minutes. He's always injured.
But that was the narrative. So where did that narrative go? I disagreed with that narrative as well, saying he's unfit and he's fat. I think that's a funny narrative. It's not true, is it? He's not fat. Do you think he's fat?
He's carrying timber in a comparative to our lot.
It's his
build
posture, though, isn't it? His build. Genuinely, I'm not being that guy. He's got to be to some level of fitness. Hasn't he?
Yeah, but he won't get in under a Bielsa regime.
Right.
Similar to what, I mean, but look, you're right, though, right? Because Brian Mbeumo keeps getting battered online because he's a full set lad. No one were bothered when he were at Brentford, but he's gone to Manchester United and he's in the eye now. That's what the difference between playing for someone like Brentford and going to Manchester United is, right? He's in the eye, and all I see online is like memes of Brian Mbeumo on his belly, and he does look to be carrying timber comparative to.
He's still rapid,
Jack, you look at it from an angle of I know you do this, you'll go, yeah, but he's a Premier League footballer, so he's clearly not fat. Do you know what I mean? So that I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. The thing there's levels to fitness. Obviously, like you say, if you're going to mention Bielsa, there's obviously a level that he absolutely demands that you can't dip under. But I think there's also, I think you're allowed to not have a wonderful physique and be able to move about. I don't, is Peru unfit?
Yeah, Peru's a big lad, isn't he?
But he's not unfit, is he?
No,
he aced the
mate,
bleep
he won
test,
our
whatever, didn't he?
bleep test.
That's what I'm
won
saying.
Our bleep test.
That's what I'm saying. So, but the narrative's built that he's, just because he moves about, he's not even that slow, Peru. And then I get pellets for this all the time, but he's not. He just looks. Sometimes they look, and it's like mannerisms of players. They get pulled out if they look a bit moody on pitch or whatever. And if he can't do a backflip, nobody gets behind it. It's always this same. They make me laugh, the narratives. I do kind of like it
but this is the thing, and I say this all the time, and I'll tell you, I don't think these lads were, but I was. Let me just big up Tanzil Islam, by the way. I don't know, were you at Sobby Bridge High? I'm assuming, bro. If you were, big up to you, man. Maybe you were in my year or whatever, but big up to Sobby. So I was on the train, on the metro today. There's 3 lads behind me, and the Leeds, right? And they started speaking in louder tones about Leeds. So I thought, my head went, spotted me on there. So I went, but anyway, I'm listening. And then I heard the lad go, and fucking Gruev. And I went, oh, Gruev here, is it? And he went, yeah. And I went, why? And he went, well, he's shitting it. And I went, is it? I said, this is just narratives. I said, unfortunately, we have to have scapegoats. Byram's another one. And he doesn't even play. And he went, oh, I fucking hate Byram. Do you know what I mean? And I just went, conversation over. And I just turned back round. I thought, that's the point, though. Once a narrative is made, it sticks. So Gruev was good against Newcastle, but no one would have you believe that. He was still shit. He only passed backwards and all this sort of bullshit that came out. And it's just not true, man. At half time against Sheff Wednesday, the only 2 people that were getting battered was Byram and Aronson. I swear to God.
It's like a reflex, isn't it, where everybody just goes, oh, it's got to be him. It's got to be that. Can I just say that I hate Bamford? And it's like, all right, yeah, of course you can, mate. Yeah, but that's probably not why we got beat Sheff Wednesday. Yeah, but fucking Bamford, it's like, right, it was nowhere to be seen. But it's still, it'd be like, and then when DCL missing chances, Bamford's getting pelters on Twitter. It's like, oh, we've got the new Bamford. It's like, what's happened?
Yeah.
You still?
I was calling Calvert-Lewin a spicy Bamford, like.
I know everybody was, but I actually think that's pretty harsh.
Yeah,
so,
you get why I'm saying it, though, right? It's funny,
Why? Because he missed the chance.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
similar striker out there, just similar striker.
I don't mind the comparison, but I think it's I think Bamford deserves a bit more respect myself.
100%. Big up to Pat. Big up to Pat.
It's a bit late now.
Interesting to see what Pat says, actually, because I don't think he liked the way that it's ended, has he? Because he said it's still raw for me to speak about right now. So I wonder if he's felt a little bit like.
I love Bamford, but I don't know what you would expect either, though. Really,
true.
How else do you go about it if you're not in his plans anymore? It's not. What's he going to do then? You've got to. I mean, I don't know. I agree. But you've got to have a frank conversation with him, haven't you, and say, look, I'm not going to play you, so tough shit. You can't get back into the side. It's over.
Yeah,
you got to split up with her, haven't you, every now and again, and just go. I have to cut this off. This cannot go on. I like you, but I'm going to have to be harsh here.
Yeah, I like you, but you are crazy, so you need to leave me alone.
Yeah. I like how you look down camera then as well.
Broski, man. Sophie says, evening, Joe and Jack. I'm feeling positive, want goals, and we can progress with pride. Big up to you, Sophie, always supporting the channel as well. Let me just say, folks, as well, like during the international break, content creators, it just fucking dives off a cliff. It's hard to think about content, do content. So if you do see it, just drop a like on it, show some support, put some comments in, just to help the algorithm, man, because it kills us, the international break. let's get some more comments in then. Germany won, Northern Ireland won. Happy days, happy days. Seacock playing for Germany. No, thank you. He's terrible. I think between 34 to 38 points will be enough. Yeah. So 9 of the last 10 seasons have been 36. That's why I've said 10 wins. And I got not some people, it's not enough. But then Dan Moylan spoke to Robbie Evans, who I can't stand, by the way, now. But that Robbie Evans had said, we need 10 wins. So I think even the club are looking at it from that perspective as well. Get 10 wins. We got 30 points. Then with the odd points we picked up along the way, we'll be safe. You know what I mean? So that's why I've been counting down to 10 wins. So hopefully that'll happen.
It's also achievable, Joe, like relatively soon, isn't it? You know, you could
of course.
You know, if you go, well, we're looking for 15 wins, it's like, well, what do you mean on last day of season then?
Exactly.
That 15th win. It's
can
like,
you imagine by January, bro, if we've got, I don't know, like, can you imagine 5 in bank by January?
That's what I mean. 5 would be mad, wouldn't it? You'd be halfway to your target, and then you go again, don't you? You go, right.
Exactly.
Then every 100%. Point above that.
Yeah, this is a good point as well by YRA. International can get in bin. Hope Farker and the new set piece Gadger are making good use of this time to bring the team cohesion on. I don't think we're there yet. The main point I wanted to pick out from that is the set piece coach. You see that? I'm assuming you will have seen that. I mean, it's probably a couple of weeks too late, but it's a step in the right direction. And I feel, if I'm being honest, Bielsa wasn't on set pieces. I think some managers want to, no, I'm the gaffer, I'm going to do it all. And I think maybe it might come from up on high of a case of, no, Daniel, you're getting a set piece coach. And sometimes you need that as well. No, I think you do need that because why? Well, someone stepped in, bro. I think could have, though. Do you agree or not? You clearly don't. But my point is, he'd have had one before now. So now we've got to a stage where they've gone, you know what, we're going to employ one.
I think that's a reasonable assessment, Joe. Yeah. Like say, you know, he'd have had one. If he was adamant he needed one,
he'd have had one.
There might be, you know, a 50-50 come round to it where he's like, right, let's get someone in. But he'd have been either adamant or not bothered. You know, so he might not have just been hanging his laundry out on it. Do you know what I mean? But then when they do say, look, we're going to get one, go, all right, let's bring one in. Yeah. I mean, for me, Joe, to be honest, and I don't want to be like a dinosaur, but the set pieces get on my nerves a little bit because people watch teams like Arsenal that are mint at them. And ultimately, it comes down to an excellent delivery and then 3 players in the box that can actually win an header, don't they? Or Gabriel, who just eats everything that comes into the box.
Yeah, of course. So Declan Rice's delivery is exceptional, by the way.
Saka can whip them in. They're on a pinhead, aren't they? So it comes down to a delivery. That's why the defending of them against Arsenal drove me mental, man. The statues that we had in there, it actually sent me over.
Did you see the still of where Timber scored from? He had both of our centre-backs taller than him, ahead of him. How that ball managed to get to him is mental.
Timber's the headed goal, though, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I think of the one where it's bouncing about all over shop.
Oh,
I can't
that was
remember.
horrible.
That's worse for me, Joe. I don't mind if the defender goes and tries to win an header and he's just rubbish at it. When it's bouncing about and everybody's just looking at each other, just going.
Even Perry would like that way.
I know, it's mad. And like Struick sort of, at least he's on top of it trying to do something. But there's that thing from behind goal, and I'm not blaming Rodon for it. You know, you can't just go charging over. But he's just stood. It looks like he stood there just watching, seeing what's about to happen. It's like, and the reason why I say that is because I honestly think in Championship, if Struick's messing about, I just think Rodon's got that level of confidence. He just bombs over and he gets it out of there. He's like, he just goes and takes charge of the situation. But I thought at that point, they were all just like, oh no, you do it. Just no ownership at all. I don't understand why we were lining up so zonal. You know where the ball's coming. I don't want to be again like a dinosaur.
We saw an improvement against Newcastle, didn't we? Because Perry was coming to collect them, whereas he didn't really against Arsenal.
No. I mean I still think that comes down to delivery.
Maybe
they're very good at them. You can put it when it comes in that channel in the aisle. You know, he can't come get it. That's what, I just don't understand why defenders don't attack headers as though Struick nearly scored. So it's not like the bloke can't go and win the header and attack it.
100%.
From a standstill, when you've got a big monster like Gabriel or whoever's coming to get how are you ever going to win the header when you just
of course.
when you're just waiting for, and then you're going, where's the man? Don't worry about the man. The man's irrelevant. I don't know why we don't just literally put like 3 of his best headerers in the 6-yard box to go, and then they can be zonal, and everybody else just be blockers, be annoying, and then one of them 3, wherever it lands, has to go and try and win header.
Have you put yourself forward for set piece coach?
I am a set piece coach, but the problem is, Joe, I've run out now, so they've hired me, and that's my idea, and that's all I've got. So if it doesn't work, I'm out of a job. So.
Nice, I love it. Big up to Kaylee, by the way, part of the women's show on Wednesday. Big up, Kaylee. Nice to see you in the chat. John Parr says, you're not going to go in a season and stick yourself in relegation zone, but deep down, you know the crack. Jonathan, clearly not a Leeds fan, whoever it may be. But I'm telling you right now, I believe that we are not going down. And I've said that since from day dot, right? So don't get it twisted. Okay, I might be more generous to have us 14 for whatever. And when I'm looking at it and I'm working them out, I'm going, yeah, we'll beat Chelsea at home 1-0. Yeah, fuck it, go on. Fair enough. But I'm telling you now, with chess, we won't go down. And I believe that, mate. I'm not here pretending. I don't play pretend. We are staying up. I believe that. Sunderland will as well. And I've said that for the day dot. So, yeah, just go back and check. It's there. 13th is wishful thinking for any promoter club. Should be happy to take 7. Well, mate, the last time we came up, we finished 9th. So, you know, why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Adrian, ever the optimist, says, I think we'll finish between 20th and 19th. See, you've got some fans there, John Parr, that believe that. So let them
between
do that.
Though, is there a spot in between them two?
I just clicked, yeah. 19 and a half. I don't know, yeah.
Some doing.
Yeah. I'll tell you what have you... Goodmanson is better defensively than Firpo. What have you made to Goodmanson? Because apart from Arsenal, where everyone was shit, I think he was cracking at home against Newcastle and Everton.
I thought he were excellent against Everton, particularly, to be fair. I mean, there were a couple of little bits where, you know, beating a man, so he looks quite confident on ball as well, doesn't he?
Good. Champions League, doesn't he? Europa League experience.
He's a big lad. And he's another one that, you know, he does look like he's carrying a bit of timber. He looks like a bit top heavy.
Oh, you meant that? Oh, right.
Well, do you not think he's a big
I guess, yeah, stocky, I would say.
I tell you what, this, you know, a bit of man loving, and Tonali gets loads of stick, but he came over to take a few calls. I was surprised how big he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's you know, because sometimes I had a bit of an image of him being a bit of a ball player, and I know they're all competitive in Newcastle's midfield, but he's a big man. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, he is though.
Rubbing his knees, wasn't he, man?
I take no shame in saying it, John. He was coming right over to take them corners right in front of my eyes. No, really enjoying him. But no, he was like, you know, and you just think these lads, you know, when they're playing.
Did you just look at him and think he's got fuck all on Andrea Russo?
Yeah, I did. But no, but it does make you realise, you know, when you get to, I mean, obviously in Prem, but any top level sport, it's like they're so fit at them, they're so strong, and that it's wild the level that they're playing at, you know.
Wait till like City and Liverpool, man, and they're coming to take on. You got Salah and that, bro.
I know. Well, they're just the monsters, aren't they?
Yeah, mental. Buonanotte went Chelsea for Champions League. Awkward. That was brilliant. I can't lie. I'm still annoyed at him. Whoever, if it was his decision, his agent's decision, whatever, it was just crazy. Did you see the interview that he did, Jack?
Yeah.
What a knob.
And I mean, it was quite funny, wasn't it? Really,
yeah, it's funny now. Yeah, it is funny now, but I just think, boom. Can see Ramazani being recalled. But I think people think you can just recall them mid-season. I don't know if there is a recall clause in there, but it won't be until January. Anyway, if we wanted to recall him, we would have had to have done it in the transfer window, folks. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there. Maybe he cooks. One thing I do think, mate, Leeds United are really banking and hoping that Ramazani and Joseph have great seasons because they want to get the water. That's where I think they're at. And I think let's say, for example, I don't know, like we've seen before, Rasmus Christensen gets sold before the season ends, right? I think there's a case of they're hoping that can happen because because of the poor squad building by previous regimes, we've had no sellable assets or nobody on the periphery that we can go, oh, we can sell him, like a Brendan Aronson, because we spent fucking 25 million on him. So if they could have sold Aronson, they probably would, but it'd have been a PSR hit. So I think with them two going, Leeds, without putting an option or obligation in, it's like they better do well. If they don't do well, man, they're up shit creek with them two, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only logical reason for loaning them out as well, really, isn't it? Because I mean, Ramazani particularly, he's not in Farke's plans, is he? Certainly.
No.
You know, like you say, they're going to want to sell.
Yeah. JB says Joe will be relegated, unfortunately, and I've accepted that. Stop watching then, JB. Like, do you see what I'm saying, though, bro? And I don't mean that in a negative way, and I hope you don't take it personally. I'm just saying, if that's how you feel, do something else with your Saturdays. No, it's right, though. What's the point? What is the point? I can't get on board with that, right? I just can't, because it's
What's
like...
it based on, though?
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, we've got 4 points out of 9 thus far, haven't we? So what is that based on? How can you have accepted it when it's not a reality yet? To be honest, I've said it from the start of the season, but when and if, which I currently don't think we should be in a relegation battle, but if we are, I will say, you know, there will be a point where I probably accepted it, because I definitely accepted it before it went to last game of the season. We got thumped to Tottenham. I was more than well aware this isn't happening. You know, I know we're going down.
Yeah.
You know, when me and my brother went to a random pub in middle of nowhere to watch that, just to get out of the way of anybody we knew. Do you know what I mean? I just want to be with my brother, just watching this, just elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted no to do with anything.
Yeah,
we definitely accepted as fate. So, but not yet. Not 3 games in when we've looked decent. It's like mad.
There's still fucking 35 games to go, JB.
Try and enjoy, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's an attempt at an enjoyment here. I'm looking forward to Fulham.
Yeah, same. So am I. Big up to DJ Yorkie, by the way, called a high. So Halifax, big up to you, my brother. Gruev and Longstaff were our best players in the Newcastle game. Love that, mate. Yeah, slag off your favourites no matter how crap they play. I don't think that happens, bro. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. If someone has a favourite, trust me, people will still try to tell me that Joseph should have started in the running, man, after he scored 2 goals against Chelsea 2 years ago. So trust me when I say, like, favourites, if you've got favourites, you've got favourites, man. It is what it is. Let's have
do you have favourites, Joe? I don't really even understand that.
The team. Yeah. So the way, well, obviously, I feel like I loved Calvin, like literally, like loved that lad. In the current crop up, favourites. So what I tend to do, I like an underdog, me. So I seem to back Jack Harrison, Brendan Aronson, Ilya Gruev more than most, because I think they get an unfair shake. That's where I'm at. But as for my favourites in this squad, Ethan Ampadu, I think, is my favourite, mate. I think he's my favourite. Yeah, I would say so. What about you?
Ampadu's only one I could say that I particularly... I mean, to be honest, I like the side. I've got no... You know, sometimes you get a bit disenfranchised from them, and I don't feel like that towards any of them, so this isn't a diss to any of them. But in terms of really caring about any of them, there's only Ampadu that I actually think is a bit about it, and I kind of, you know, apart from obviously when my man Longstaff gets going, he's the type of player that I'd really like.
He's your favourite, definitely. Actually, he's your favourite.
Yeah, he's not. I can't even say it myself yet. Do you know what I mean? Until he shows what I think, you know, what I think he is. He's become an underdog for some unknown reason. But I agree with your Harrison assessment, because I end up, you know, he got booed again when he came on against Newcastle. He got pretty badly booed, and I'd normally keep my mouth shut in ground, because I don't want to be expressing myself. But I must have said something by accident, and a couple of lads in front turned around and they were like, "Yeah, it's ridiculous." But I just went, "Oh, stop it! We've been so competitive in that game. You're bringing a player on. Are we going to boo him at this point? It's just mad." So, you know, I think a lot of people do agree. So, but then you end up, every time he's on ball, I'm like, come on, Harrison, like whip it, get a decent. You end up really behind them. I don't want to be that either. I just want to be like I am with all other players. But when they get, like, say, badly booed when they're coming on, I end up going over the top with it.
It's gone too far, bro. There has been worse people within this squad for what they've done than him.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think it's because I think it might be, this will sound mad and people will call me whatever, but there's a bit of, this might be wild actually, but a bit of like classism. Because Jack's well-to-do, young, like good-looking lad, mummy's boy, blah, 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 blah. I think there's a bit of classism about him because it's Jack Harris. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't think why else. Genuinely, he has he used to have a man bun or whatever. I know people, right? And I know people will be typing in going, no, he screwed us. But please tell me the difference between him and Willie Gnonto. Please tell me the difference and tell me if Gnonto got more than one game's worth of booze. He did not. He did not. So then ask yourself, well, why is that? Why really is that? Because Jack didn't refuse to get on a bus to go to Birmingham away. He just stayed in the Premier League because he was deemed good enough. Jack came back, put in the work, impressed the team, has put money behind bar in the Peacock and another pub, has gone round and clapped all four sides, has stayed behind and signed autographs as a way to say, look, I'm here, I'm sorry. That is his. You know, no one else did that, but he's still getting booed. Why? Do you know what I mean? That's what I would say. And people got me, you're fucking, because of this, obviously. And I go, yeah, but so did that player. Why aren't they still getting booed? Do you see what I'm saying? So ask yourself the question.
The only crime they've committed really is that they've ended up coming back. Because truth be told, if Gnonto could have got his sold to the Premier League, he'd have been straight. He'd have never come back. You know, he'd have been out the door. And if he'd have been loaned out, he'd have never wanted to come back. So Harrison was wanted by the Premier League. That, you know, that's why he stayed in it. The only one that stayed in it, not come back out of it. So ultimately, Gnonto wasn't fancied that much. And then we all started to say about Gnonto that he's not performing. Like when some of us were at the door, like, oh, where's Gnonto at? You know, getting questioned. Do you know what I mean? So they're all liable to get
100%.
I just think booing him's crazy at this point. I cannot.
I do, yeah. But I don't know. Most of it about, well, that's, you can't help who your mum is though, Adrian. This is the thing. Do you know if people were chatting shit about me, my mum would also say something?
Yeah, my mum, she'd be like, hey, I'm not having this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, Mum, just honestly, just leave it out.
Mum, leave it. No, Joe, fuck off. Yeah. Give me that mic.
But it makes you are as well, doesn't it, Joe? So I don't want to be that guy, but it's like, you know, it gets you to this point that they're all at a certain point in the career. It's like, what do you want me to throw away everything?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he's a mummy's boy, which is absolutely nothing wrong with, then
let me just let me just come back to this. Gnonto stayed, signed a new deal because he had no choice, because we refused to let him go. That is why. You say helped us get back to the Prem. If Jack Harrison wasn't good enough to stay in the Prem, he'd have also helped us get back to the Prem,
which he did the first time round.
Exactly. Jack is just happy to take the wages here. Do you not think Gnonto is? Or do you think Gnonto's a Leeds fan? Because I'm telling you now, he's not.
Or do you want him to play for free, and then would that make you feel better?
Yeah.
If he said, I'll just play. Don't worry about that contract. I'll just play.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Come on. It is what it is. See, this is all right. Okay. If you think he's shit, that's fine. But should you be booing him? My point is, right, if you think he's shit, right, so he's getting booed because he's shit, and that also comes down to it as well, Josh, you're probably right, because if he were a Rafinha level, no one would be booing him, right? They might boo him one game and then he'd do something electric.
Is he better than Aronson, though?
Oh, yeah, 100% he is.
Well, why didn't he get booed?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And it's because, again, Aronson's seen as a timid little, Brendan, he's weak as piss. You know what I mean? Why am I going to boo him? He's a fucking fanny. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas Jack, it's like, who does he think he is? kind of vibe. Maybe I'm looking too much.
No,
into
I know what you mean. Yeah,
critical
another
thinking.
handsome chap.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
doesn't have the physique of Tonali, unfortunately, but
No,
yeah.
100%. Well, no, he didn't, JB, because we told him you can't leave. If he was given his choice, he'd have left. That's the point. When he said, I'm not getting on that bus to go play against Birmingham, that was his choice. But the club said, tough shit, you're under contract. So he didn't get his choice. Anyway, moving on. Respect to Rodon. Yeah, exactly. There's a player, because he did get offers from the Premier League and he said, no, I'm going to stay at Leeds. Fair play. You can say that for Joe Rodon. 100%. But yeah, I don't know why we went down Harrison, because I always get there. But I'm telling you now, folks, I can't wait till he scores, because I'm going to hammer you all.
I'm going to go bonkers. I said against Everton on our banging on before that, I'm going to say I'm getting thrown out of ground. I'm off on pitch. I'm going to go absolutely. I'm getting arrested.
I can't wait to pull out the Calvert-Lewin as well.
Yeah, I know there were enough opportunities against Wednesday for it as well.
Mate, I thought it were coming out, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, 100%. Jack, man, we've done an hour. I don't know if there's anything more for us to chew the fat over, really. Nah.
Not off the top of my head, no, Joe.
Nah, definitely not. I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to quickly pull up this weekend's games in Premier League. I'm going to fire them at you, because I know you like doing this.
It's my favourite pastime, isn't it?
Yeah. We will do another one of them as well, actually, before.
I do like doing them, though. They're good.
Yeah, nah, same. Right, so Leeds away at Fulham. What are you thinking off top of your head right now?
I honestly, as a joke on my channel, I will always predict to win, because it's been a thing ever since it started, and that's where the happy clapper comes from. So, but realistically, they're going to score. So,
yeah,
if we can get 1-1, you'd be delighted with.
Yeah, that's 1-1. That's where my head's at.
If anybody's then to watch my thing, you said 1-1, and Joe's like, yeah, but I'm now just saying, we're going to win 4-0.
Burnley, because I'm just looking at newly promoted teams at the minute, mate. Burnley are at home against Liverpool.
Can't see them getting much.
No,
I think Burnley will go down. So I know they beat Sunderland, didn't they?
Yeah,
a bit mad. But that's not necessarily a bad thing for us either. If Burnley end up being the batter boys and then
take points off Sunderland,
yeah, it sort of like does us quite well, doesn't it? So
4-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, it'd be badly beat, won't it? That
Isak will probably come off the bench as well, I'd imagine, at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
they're getting tons of goals out of Liverpool.
Yeah, Sunderland are away at Palace. I think they get beat. Palace are flying, by the way. Palace are unreal under Glasner, and they will win at home. So 2-0 Palace.
Yeah.
So we might be the only newly promoted team to get a point this weekend, then, based on our predictions, mate. So let's wait and see. I'm hoping as well, mate, that West Ham 3-0 win over Forest was just a
blip.
Just a random
blip
one.
in the wrong direction.
Yeah, just a random one, because they've got Tottenham at home, and I'm hoping that Tottenham put them back to sword and go, actually, you're not out at Woods. Whereas if West Ham win that, I go, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, because there's a few clubs are looking at, and West Ham was one of them. And it's
Newcastle away at Wolves away at Newcastle. We need Newcastle to put them to sword.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're already seeing in first 3 games who we think's going to be down there, aren't we?
Yeah.
And the thing is, with a team like West Ham, if they do beat Tottenham, that's 2 wins on spin. They might lose a couple, but they're going to win enough games to stay up, is my point, throughout the season.
I agree.
Because they've got Jarrod Bowen. They've got Paqueta. They've just bought that Fernandes from Southampton for like 40 million. They have got some good players, so just it's gonna be a long old slog, but I think we can do it. And I know Jack feels the same as well. Someone phoning you there, boss man.
Sorry, man.
Well, we're gonna finish. We're gonna finish up now anyway. Listen, folks, go on over to Jack City. Please do go show some love, mate. Are we close to a subscriber target?
I tried to get to 6. Well, I set 5,000, and then we did that pretty easy. So
Okay.
I tried to get to 6,000 before the start of the season. I got to 5,500. So I never reached my
Nice.
targets. So we're getting somewhere.
Don't lie, man. Nearly 6K, man. I love that for you. Yeah, big up. Jimmy Salmon just says more of JUSTJOE, please. Yeah, no worries, bro. We will do more, I'm sure. We'll probably do the 4 games between now and next international break prediction thingy that we do later on in week. I just didn't want to do it this early on because it's still Sunday. Yeah, Monday tomorrow, folks. Start to focus on the week ahead. Make sure you go subscribe to City Leeds Fans with Jack City. Listen to his beats as well, the banging. And we will see you in a bit. Peace out, folks.